Hi guys, so in the last two videos we've been obviously looking at your kipping. So the first video we just covered the basic kip, okay, then in the last video we started to have a look at how you're going to progress that onto toes to bar. Okay, so obviously once you've mastered that small basic kip and then you've started to work on your kipping leg raise, okay, so focusing on engaging your core and your lats at the same time, having a nice controlled rhythm to your kip, okay, not being pulled back and forwards. And obviously then you want to start to progress that on to the full kipping toes to bar. Okay, now as we mentioned in the last video, obviously a lot of the time when you're starting to get to grips with the movement, if you can obviously get your toes up to the bar, it's that transition between the first and the second rep that can throw people off. Okay, so obviously that comes from just that excess momentum as you come back down, which as we touched on before, partly is just from your body position not being in the best possible position. The best way to fix that is trying to engage your lats more on the way up, okay? But also we want to try and reduce that momentum just whilst you get to grips with the movement, okay? So obviously, as we said last time, you want to start off on that kipping leg raise, okay? Now, when you go to then transition that into multiple toes to bar, okay, what you want to focus on as opposed to keeping a straight leg kip, which is going to lead to a lot of upwards momentum, but then also a lot of downwards momentum, is starting to bend your knees a little bit more and then extending your toes to hit the bar, okay? So obviously, this might not be the perfect kip in terms of a strictly gymnastic sense, okay? But there are benefits to doing it this way, okay? So obviously, like we said, it just helps you control the movement a little bit more. It can also be a little bit quicker because of a shorter range of motion, okay? And the main thing is learning to get that control over the movement first, and then we can start to work on going with straight legs, okay? But also, as we'll discuss in the next video, okay, there's always a time and a place for these different variations of the movement, okay? So obviously back to kind of where we're at today, starting off with the bent knees and then getting that flick up to the bar, okay? A, it means that you're gonna stay more upright in your upper body position, and then B, if you can then tuck back up on the way back down, it's gonna mean there's less forward momentum pulling you forward, making it a little bit easier to control, okay? So the best way to practice this, as opposed to going straight in for a toes to bar, is just do sets where you gradually build up the range of motion, okay? So you'll start off with a leg raise, then you'll go into more of a knees to elbow style movement. And then once you get on the next rep, once you get back to the knees to elbow, you're then gonna flick your toes and reach up to the bar, okay? Then you can drop off, go again. And the first thing is just getting that consistency, doing that particular movement, okay? And then once you feel comfortable, then you can start to do the same thing, but add in a second toes to bar after your first, okay? Now, the key on the second toes to bar, all right, is to be really aggressive when you come back down in reversing your swing, okay? A lot of the time what happens, or one or two things can happen, is either people don't let themselves come back down into a full kip, and then they're always fighting to get their feet back up without the help of their kip, or they come back too far, okay? Or not even too far, but they come all the way back, but then they can't reverse that momentum to be able to go back into a forward swing, which is where pushing down on the bar, engaging your lats is going to make a big difference, okay? So I hope that helps. And make sure you practice these things. Like I say, in the next video, we're going to focus on how to be more efficient with your toes to bar and different circumstances as to the different kind of styles you might use in different workout settings, which is going to apply as you get more comfortable with them, or if you're already more than comfortable with them and it's a case of getting them better in workouts or in a qualifying kind of setting, we'll talk about a few options there.